Leilane, that's right. The three terrorists infiltrated the airport here behind me. Heavily traveled airport. Anyone who's been through Ataturk knows that it's busy constantly, regardless of the season, even though we are in high season right now, summer season. And then that would beg the question, what happened with security? How did these three slip past security? Well, the new details that you mentioned that are emerging, they suggest that they didn't necessarily slip past anyone. Bear in mind, here behind me, on the periphery of the airport, there's a security layer. Going into the entrance of the airport, there's a security layer. There are X-ray security layers for passengers and those who come into the airport before they even get to the check-in counters. What happened, what is emerging, is that these three, one of the three, blew him or herself up outside the airport in the taxi or parking area. That created a distraction for security, obviously, at the airport. That allowed the other two to run in, open fire, and then eventually blow themselves up. That created mayhem, terror, panic, as we saw in the closed-circuit footage. Certainly, it was horrific viewing at home, and one would only imagine from hearing from those who were there at the airport, their survivors, how terrifying it was for them. Let's give a listen to some of the eyewitnesses, their descriptions, people who were inside the terminal when these attacks took place.
Somebody coming and shooting us, and then my sister was running. I don't know which way she was running. And after that, I was falling down, and I was in the ground till he's finished it.
I was waiting for my boarding pass at the counter of Turkish Airlines when I heard the first gunshot, and many passengers looked in the direction of the gunshot sound and began to run for safety after the second gunshot. I threw all my belongings to the ground and lay down. Then we heard more gunshots and a blast.
And then out into the taxi rank where you'd normally hail a cab, and then just destruction. 7 ambulances, blood on the floor, bloody rags. People were stepping through them.
And again, this may not necessarily have been a breach of security, but certainly here at the airport in Istanbul, at the airports around the world, security procedures are going to be looked at more closely, reviewed more closely. I can say that coming into Istanbul today, the security was the tightest that